Main problem that I see is right now we have all the governments in the world, most of them, printing huge amounts of money, which has never happened before. It's going to lead to big problems down the road. Throughout history, when you print staggering amounts of money, it's led eventually to problems, and we have never in world history had so much money printing as we have now. Well, all this money printing, I have had more commodity investing, let's put it that way, because of the money printing throughout history. When you print a lot of money, it has led to inflation, and inflation means higher prices, which means commodities will go up. And as I look around the world, I mean, you can see that bonds are definitely a bubble. Bonds have never been this expensive in world history. Property in many countries is a bubble. You go to Korea or New Zealand, many places, it's a bubble. Stocks are beginning to form bubbles in many places. I mean, Apple goes up every day, 10 cent, things like that. The only things that are still down are commodities. I mean, silver is down 60% from its all-time high. Sugar's down 60%. Those are not bubble numbers when you talk about things that are down 60%. So commodities are the cheapest place, and I've invested more in agriculture and other commodities in the last year or so.
Even in Asia, these days, the market seems to be overpriced, especially like the property market, the real estate. In places like even Thailand, where it's been cheap for many years, it's like really expensive now. So what do you think that's heading? Of course, bubbles are ending in crash usually. So what do you think is happening there?
Well, eventually, two things will happen. One, things will just get so overpriced, there won't be anybody left to buy, and then they start selling, and then there's nobody left to buy, and the prices go down a lot. But also interest rates will go higher. Eventually, interest rates have never been this low in world history. So when interest rates start going higher, a lot of people are going to have to sell. Some people are overextended, and when they start having to sell, it usually crescendos, and then you have a big bear market. I'm sure the next bear market we have will be the worst in my lifetime. We had a big bear market in 2008 because of too much debt. Well, since 2008, I mean, the debt has skyrocketed everywhere. We've never seen so much debt. So the next bear market has to be the worst in my lifetime because of all this debt.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
In case of a big crash like this, what do you think is going to be the opportunities? Is it going to be in commodities, or how do you think investors or traders can benefit from this?
Well, as I said, when there's inflation, prices go up. And if you own the things that go up in price, whether it's sugar or silver or whatever, you usually will make money, or you certainly will protect yourself. So the best opportunities I see are in real assets. Also, though, whenever you have a big disaster, it usually leads to opportunities. For instance, right now, travel and tourism and entertainment are all demolished in many countries, and there are probably opportunities there developing I bought Chinese wine stocks recently because people stopped going out. They stopped going to restaurants, stopped going to bars. So maybe there's an opportunity there. Often when there is a disaster, it does lead to an opportunity. Well, I said bonds are the biggest bubble they've ever been. That's not an opportunity. Commodities are very cheap. Silver's down 60%. Didn't you hear what I said? This is an opportunity. Bonds are not an opportunity. Maybe I'm not making myself clear. Some markets are certainly great opportunities. Some are not. Well, I am not selling anything yet, and I'm not selling short anything yet. I see bubbles starting to develop, but at the moment, it doesn't look like we're in enough of a bubble, maybe bonds, but nothing else for me to sell short yet. Many stocks in the US, which is the biggest market, are not up a lot. Some are in a clear bubble, but many stocks this year are down, or last year were down in 2021. So it's not a full-fledged bubble yet, but it looks like it's going to develop into a full-fledged bubble, at which point I'll have to sell, and I'll start selling short. I hope I'm smart enough. I think what you need to do is to watch the desire to trade. to figure out when it's time to sell the bubble. I don't know. Bubbles usually ruin two kinds of people. They ruin the skeptics first, the people who say this is a bubble and it's crazy. Then they get ruined. And then the people who believe in the bubble get ruined, because then the bubble eventually collapses and they lose everything because they thought it was real. So I don't know. I'm not very good at market timing. I have been around bubbles before. I have sold bubbles. I have shorted bubbles. But bubbles can be very, very confusing.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address, because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.